It is Tuesday, November 12th, 2024, 7:30 p.m. sharp. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hidden Oaks Overdose Football Fix podcast, the 194th edition of such a podcast. I am one of your lovely hosts, the Garlic Johnson. We are joined, as always, by our other lovely hostess, the Joshua Mitchell. Josh, say hi to the folks out there.
No.
He's so melancholy, folks. It is crazy. You know who isn't melancholy? People who join our Discord server, Josh. They love it. They love chatting with us. They love talking shit, whether it's about football or about other things. We appreciate them so much. Josh, we also appreciate who else is not melancholy? At Levi Oki Illustration. That man is so happy and chipper. He's so exuberant all the time. He draws flowers on dicks. And lastly, Josh, you are clearly melancholy, but how are you? Can you express to the folks? We already know how you're doing, so I'm not going to go, "Hey there." Why are you melancholy, Josh?
Well, because I keep trying to wake up from this nightmare that's fantasy football and never happening. I'm down to 7 fingers, 3 toes. Seems I'm just gonna, never wake up from this nightmare.
What's
my
happening?
My phone charger port doesn't work anymore.
Oh, no.
I just, it's been one of those weeks. And I went out and bought some isopropyl alcohol to do some cleaning on the phone charger port, and it was sitting there next to an empty glass. And I'm just thinking, it might be time. Might be time to see what this is all about.
How old's your phone?
How are you, Gar?
How old's your phone, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't actually know off the top of my head. When was Nam?
It's been a while since Nam, if that's when your phone
I
is from.
I think it was when Ash was born, so I think it's like 2 years old.
Well, that's not that bad at all.
Yeah, I think the charging port just got a lot of gunk in it, and then when I cleaned it out, I might have scratched one of the pins on the receptor deal, so I gotta bring it in and get it fixed.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's doom and gloom, but it should, ultimately should be easily repairable, even if it's not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it would be about $100, so cheaper than getting a new phone.
That's not that bad.
It just so happened to work out right when we get it paid off, and that's how it always goes.
Yeah, the fucking scammers, dude. That's how they get you. There's probably some sort of you have T-Mobile, right? Some sort of T-Mobile fairy, just waiting.
Yeah, no, Donald Faison and Zach Braff.
Oh no, they did an eagle, and then the phone fell out of their pocket while he was full spread.
Well, yeah, they eagled right through my front door, drop kicked me, and then took out a baseball bat and started bashing my phone.
Oh no. Oh Christ! All right. Well, okay. So that's how
I
Josh
asked
is
how
doing.
you were, Gar.
I know. If you would let me get there. I'm doing all right. Right now I'm probably more anxious than anything because I am now finally, after many moons of talking about it, I am operating from a new computer. And so obviously, like, Discord is working well enough, but I don't have like my music files, and I don't have the soundboard ready to go because I just got the computer a couple days ago. And I didn't want to have all the distractions. I just wanted to make sure the audio would be good. So right now I'm just anxiously watching Audacity fill up as we talk. But everything seems to be going fine.
Does Best Buy know you're podcasting from their lobby?
Dude, they turned the Best Buy in North. I was trying to go there for a couple of cores the other day. The Best Buy in Northtown has turned into an outlet store. You go in there and it's 95% refrigerators and like other shit. Like it's not the Best Buy you remember. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, the Best Buy that was across from the Hood on 65 nice. There by Target. Yeah, that was a nice Best Buy. And then, Obama and everything else happened, and now it's a Nazi camp.
It's it's funny. I don't know if you know. I mean, I know you drive fast all the time. It is an Aldi, and Aldi is a German company. So I don't know if you knew that, but that's kind of funny the way you pulled that together. I don't know if that was intentional or if you were trying to be funny, but it is an Aldi, and Aldi is a German company.
I'm German. You're German. We're German.
That's
It's
true.
all lining up.
They did win the First and Second World War. Shout out to Otto von Bismarck and Adolf Hitler. Big shout out. But yeah, no, I'm fine. If not a little anxious, just I feel like time was moving so fast. But now that we're in November, I feel like it's not going fast enough. Like I want Thanksgiving this week. Like I am ready for the holidays. So that's all I'm doing, Josh. Hurry
That's
up and
good.
wait mode.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, no, we are definitely, we experience with the fall back, we are experiencing that sad, I think, in our household where it's just kind of, we're just bleh. So
Sure.
it's just, yeah. But then again, that's not much of a step down from my normal operating, standards.
Standard operating procedure.
Gar,
Yeah, Eeyore.
yeah. Yeah. But Gar, it's Tuesday and we like tacos, so it is Taco Tuesday. Did you see any taco moves in real or fantasy football this weekend?
I mean, having Sam Darnold as your starting quarterback seems like a taco move at the moment. The dude's got a full case of the yips, but of course, to Al's point before he roasts us, he was a bridge quarterback. And he's obviously significantly better for the team as far as salary cap and a lot of other things than Kirk was. So it's unfortunate that he played at such a high level to begin the season, and now he has completely regressed. So that seems like a taco move. Another taco move would be the Packers that couldn't even win a game this past week. I mean,
hey,
Jesus
we scored
Christ.
the same number of touchdowns as you, bud.
Yeah, how many games did you win though, brother? So Packers full taco for not scoring any points and for not winning any games this past week. And then me again. I forgot that there was a London game, and I had like on Thursday or whenever, like I was looking at my lineups, I had put Jonathan Brooks in, and Jonathan Brooks did not play, and I slept until like 11 on Sunday. So that was unfortunate for two of my lineups, but it would not have made a difference if I had played a starter. And I wouldn't have won either of the games I lost. I got blown out in both those games, or one of them was a huge blowout. The other one was relatively close, I guess, but I would not have made up the difference had I started someone else. But so that's unfortunate. So I'm still a bit of a taco, but we're getting there. We're getting better. Yeah, I set aside some time for the podcast today, and I got everything ready, and I updated the portfolios, and then I was like, I still got some extra time. So I went through and I looked at all my lineups, and I even put in like 2 waiver claims, Josh. So like we are ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a thing, and things that, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Things and yeah. What about you, Josh? You see any tacos out there?
Well, Gar, mine kind of ties into my grain of salt.
Oh, no.
Yep. And the only taco I see is when I look in the mirror, I see a 2-week-old taco in a Ziploc baggie that's hidden in the tank of a toilet by your stoned cousin who takes a 2-hour poop on Thanksgiving and needs a pick-me-up halfway through. That's the kind of taco I am this week.
Everyone needs their fucking poop, their emergency poop taco, Josh. You can't tell me you don't have one in your house right now.
Yep. And I mean, that this taco in this bag, this cousin of yours poked holes in it in the bag so it could breathe. So it's sitting in that tank water with holes in the bag so the taco could breathe. That is the taco that I am every time I look in the mirror. Because
everyone
going
knows
into
the tank
this,
water's clean, Josh. You're good to drink that. No big deal.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is. That's Gar, you're not supposed to shout that on the airwaves because when the Trumpocalypse happens here in the next couple of years, we're going to need drinking water and nobody's going to check the back of their toilet tanks. So just keep your yapper shut. That's the first thing I'm going to do is bust into my neighbor's house and go drink their toilet water.
Luckily, no one listens to the show, so we're golden.
Yeah, you're right. And Walter's probably already forgot what we're talking about. But all of that leads into my 0-7 grain of salty.
Oh, no.
Yep. Last week went 1-6. Thought, it can't get much worse than this. Yep. Nope. It can. It can get one game worse. So bring my total on to 27-43 on there, 38.5% win percentage. The intellectual property of Joshua Allen Bunker Incorporated, I went 14-39 on the week, which is 26.4%. So I got lucky apparently in some of my games because I won 26% more games than I did in my head-to-head. So yippee. You want to know what the saltiest moment of this is, Gar? The
Listening
saltiest
to you
moment.
talk about it.
Nope. Yes, I mean, yes, your sodium levels are probably rising. Should probably schedule a doctor's appointment. But the saltiest moment is, and I wish I still had this sheet of paper next to me. I had to burn it because it made me so sick to my stomach.
Oh, no.
If we exclude the Deflate These Balls League, which I think I lost by 17 points in, I scored 69 on the dot, which is just abysmal in the first place after starting 5-0. If we take just those remaining 4 leagues and we add the total number of points that I lost by, 7.
Wow.
I lost by combined total of 7 points, give or take a few. Because I think I lost to Ryan Herman, or I lost to you by 3 in the Dynasty League.
Ladies.
And then I lost to Ryan Herman by 0.9, and I lost to Derek by 0.9. And then I lost to, I don't even care, Derek. Did I say Derek? I don't know, by 1.1, 0.8, something. I don't know. But yeah, so it was just one of those weeks where I was like, oh, I have a little bit of hope. And then you know what hope did? Hope poked holes in my taco bag.
Oh.
Nope. Hope poked holes in my taco bag and threw me in the toilet for Thanksgiving. That's exactly what happened. That's how salty I am. And Mika, if you listen to this, you haven't listened in a while, this is the rant that you look forward to every year. The one where I just have zero hope, because right now my chances of making the playoffs in all my leagues are none, because I'm going to drop everybody because they deserve better than me.
Jesus. Josh is going through it, everyone. Oh, man. Yeah. So hold on, let me pull this up. So what do you reckon? You're 8-12. You're 7-3 and Deflate These Balls. You'll make the playoffs there.
I hope not. I hope my team just refuses to show up.
Yeah, I mean 8-12 is not looking good. 4-16, certainly you're out. 3-7 is not good. 5-5, that's a 10-team league, and 6 teams make the playoffs. So I mean, you could in the dynasty, you're not hopeless yet. So
I'm still technically in the playoffs in that league. I'm still technically in the playoffs and Deflate These Balls. In Victoria's Secret, I'm only a couple games back. So if I get lucky, which I won't, Hidden Oaks Redraft, I have a 1% chance of making. They smell worse.
Yeah, when it's warm and steamy in there. Oof.
Yeah, but I have a 1% chance of making. So if I win out and get 8 wins in the next, or against the median and everything, and you or Jeremy or somebody else lose out, I might still make it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying there's a chance?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that statistics say there's a chance. I say there's no chance.
Okay, speaking of statistics, Josh, since Walters wanted to bring up shower farts, what do you think the odds are that at least once upon a time, I couldn't tell you when, I couldn't tell you why, I couldn't tell you how mature, like how dire the situation was. How many times do you think Walters has tried to fart in the shower and then a little poop came out and then he had to waffle stomp that thing down? How many times do you think that's happened out of all the showers Walters has ever taken?
Well, let's just say he takes 1 shower a day. And he's 47 years old?
Correct.
Doing the math, that's a 200% chance it happens every time.
Those are some good statistics. I mean, again, we're not here to judge the man. He could be deathly ill. He could be deathly drunk or hungover. I mean, sometimes the poop just comes. I was just curious how many waffle stomps we think Walters has under his career. And then Walters just said he ain't wrong. All right. So, Josh, you were pretty salty. I also, my sodium levels are pretty high this week. It wasn't my very worst week in fantasy of the year. I also have not hung out with Owen at all this year, so I got that going for me, whereas you and Owen are well acquainted at this point. But I went 2-6 as my records read in the leagues, and that's not good. And, my top 4 expensive leagues, I always talk about, wanting to win the expensive leagues. Those were all, I had 4 losses in a row there. My first win was against the median in the Hidden Oaks Redraft League, and then the Dynasty League was my other win, which is one of my cheapest leagues. If I were to play every team, though, I got pretty all right, and my record's 40-40 overall. So exactly batting 500 through 10 weeks. I got pretty unlucky this week, though, relatively. Going 2-6 is bad, but if I were to play every team in every league in week 10, I would have gone 42-31, and there was only one league where I would have lost to the median, so I was above average. I was above half the league in every single league but one. So 42-31, I got pretty unlucky this week. Overall in the season, If I were to play every team every week, I would be 476 and 433. So that's just above 50%, 52.4 if you round. So we will see what happens here. I'm hoping that means I'll have some positive. Well, that's not positive regression. I hope I move back up a little bit towards that number than the 500 I'm betting right now. If there's any lucky wins you want to win, it's it's leading into the playoffs. We only have 4 regular season weeks left in all our in the normal fantasy league. So I'm hoping to squeeze out a couple extra wins here. I'm certainly on the bubble in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm certainly on the bubble in 4 leagues. 3 leagues, I'd say I'm already eliminated from. I'm 3-7 in 3 leagues. In 1 league, I feel pretty confident I'll make the playoffs, and it'll be the Dynasty League. So yeah, we need a couple lucky wins here. I'm going to make the playoffs in less than half my leagues, which is bad if you don't know numbers. If you play in 8 leagues, I only make the playoffs in 2 of them. That is trash. So yeah, I'm a little extra salty this week, but the underlying numbers tell me I should have a couple more wins coming my way to end the season, and I hope that's the case. I pray that that's the case. But yeah, a little extra salty. Josh, I believe we talked about this in the pre-show meeting that lasted 30 seconds, but you have no dogs or no logs this week?
Yeah, the author of that segment decided to do something like looking at player performances and their like medians, and so a lot of box plots, and I tried looking at it, but it just reminded me how bad of a drawer I am, and then bad of a drawer kind of reminds me of drawing ping pong balls, and drawing ping pong balls reminded me of the draft, and the draft reminded me of how bad I did in every single draft this year because my team stink.
It is tough. Ooh, okay. Walters has some dogs for us. Walters is saying Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are dogs. That is correct. Did you watch any of that Thursday night game, Josh? I know it feels like a year ago, but
I watched pieces of it. I do feel bad. So Nikita was laughing at me because she was looking at the standings and go, "You lost to Brian. Brian's like the worst team in the league." And I was like, "No, Nikita, yeah. I'm the worst team in the league." And she's like, "But you lost to Brian?" I was like, "Yes, I gave him his first win of the season." And she starts laughing. And then Jamar Chase puts up the 55 bomb on her. And so the next day I start giggling, and then she ends up losing. But she ended up being, I think, the second highest scoring team in the league. So it's like my laughter didn't matter because she still technically got a win. She just happened to play the highest scoring team in the league.
That's tough when that happens. How's Nikita doing? Let's check out that we don't have dogs and logs. Let me pull up the standings real quick. Let me see how the people are doing. This is the content that Alan Walters are here for. All right.
Well, we can go ahead and we can just go ahead and skip the bottom 6.
All right, so we have Andrew Hammer, who looks like he might be cruising to his 3rd ship appearance. He is 16-4 atop the league. Then Nikita's in second at 15-5. Derek also already the only 3-time champ. He's 13-7. Devontae, not like us, is Eric, and he is at 12-8. And then we have, oh my God, who is Kelsey, Swift, and Committed? That's Jeremy. Jeremy, yeah, okay. Jeremy's in 5th, and I'm in 6th, and we're both 11-9. And if you didn't hear anyone's name, that's because Josh is at the bottom of the league at 4-16. He's doing worse than Bradley. Bradley's 9-11. Never forget, Josh.
Bradley scored 50-some points this week.
Oh boy.
Am going to scream.
Al says in the chat, if you guys want someone who's actually good at fantasy, I can fill in for a week. Honestly, that's not a bad offer. I would not be afraid to have some guest appearance from people who are having more success this year. Josh and I think, I rode pretty high last year. I think Josh did fine.
I think he's talking about for our teams.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the podcast, but yeah, I mean, if you wanna set my lineup for a week or make a trade for me, you go. Well, oh, yeah. So you meant the podcast, Josh. Okay. Don't you doubt me?
Yeah, I mean, Al and I think we're on the same page for a few of the players. I mean, him and I were high on Jaden Daniels preseason, and Jaden Daniels is doing pretty solid. It's like I think I know who the good players are. I just know that the bad ones are on my team. Because I don't know if you remember, Gar, but if we go back to like the post-draft pod, I was sitting here and I was just like, my team stinks. I hate my team. And lo and behold, I was right.
Oh, do you,
Walters wants to know how the 272s are going. We had some ups and some downs. We've had some good weeks. Gar has had weeks where he's had 78% correctly predicted and 68% correctly. He's had 5 weeks over 50%. I've only got through 8 weeks graded though. All of mine have been over 50%.
all of your weeks. Walters also asked us what percent of your woes are due to injury. Obviously, CMC in the redraft league.
CMC, he's not good. Rashad White being mid, but then deciding, when I'm being rested, then I'll score. Aaron Jones started off hot, then he did not. Tony Pollard is I just have a team of mid, and then obviously, I did just go ahead and pull the trigger on dropping Chris Olave because, he's probably the worst wide receiver one. I don't know. He got put on IR, so the fantasy year technically.
Yeah.
Playoffs, he'd be back, but he's more of a trap pickup than anything. AJ Brown, I guess, had been hurt at some point, so that's somewhat of a woe. Travis Etienne had been hurt at some point. That's kind of a woe.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. My feelings, they're always hurt. So, whoa.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's a low price.
Wow, that's a low price. All right, moving on. It looks like you did not, and I don't mean this in a judgy way because I wouldn't have done it either, but we do not have the side bet unless you did it on like a side sheet somewhere. Do not know the side bet winner for week 10?
I don't have an official, because it was the Gronky Tonk, Badonkadonk, so closest to 69 total yards for tight ends. And I do think that there were a few really close ones. Trey McBride had 71 yards, and that's T. TJ Hawkinson, 72 yards. Sorry, Hammer. Travis Kelce, 64. Sam Laporta, 66. So, it looks like T1 with 71.
Not bad. Okay. The Gronky Tonk. Walters wants us to let us know that Sam Darnold's a big smelly log. Yeah, he did not look good. We've been there. Josh, we do have the portfolio. I do have that updated, but we do have a little extra time since we skipped a couple things. How do you? So, did you watch the Vikings game? I guess on Sunday is the first question.
I watched part of it, then I think during like the second or halftime, I logged on and played a little bit of COD, and then watched like the end of it. So I got to watch Jacksonville just decide to, you know what, let's get a higher draft pick. I'm gonna have a foul at the end here, which good for them, I guess. I don't know. It was honestly ugly. It was bad. Just watching all around. I mean, the Vikings defense played solid. I'll give them that, but they're going up against Mac Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then the Vikings offense didn't look pretty, but they have Sam Darnold, who's regressing to his, mean. Aaron Jones got banged up. It was just, it was a game, I guess, technically, but it was a boring one.
Does that game bring you more or less joy than the election last Tuesday? We're going to take the next 20 minutes to talk strictly about the election. Obviously, that's what the people are here for.
I actually had to take the week off work because my feelings were hurt.
Oh, yeah?
No. I didn't. I was surprised that I wasn't as surprised as I was.
Sure. And
if that makes any sense.
I was making a joke. We don't have to talk about the election, but I was just trying
to
be funny.
We've already gone down this rabbit hole here, but I saw the states and I saw everything, and I personally, I'm a doom scroller, so I like to look on Reddit at big moments, like big plays in the NFL, the election being a big moment, and going, what are people saying about this?
Sure.
And let's just say there are not a lot of right-leaning individuals that use Reddit. According to my studies, it is a very, very left-sided production there.
Yep.
And I just want to go out on a limb and say Al Walters, if you guys voted for Trump, I do not think you're racist bigots that hate women and believe that they have no rights, and you want to drag the bodies of Democrats through the streets like they did in the 60s to colored individuals. I do not think that anybody who voted for Trump is like that.
That makes
I do
one of
not
us.
think
I'm just kidding.
that. I do not think that people who vote for Trump are of a lower IQ. I do not think that people who vote for Kamala are of a lower IQ. But I do think that the people who react the way they do on the internet to things like that should probably tone it down a bit.
Yeah, it is certainly not helping their cause.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I just want to know if like people forgot to mark their calendar. Like 14 million non-votes from compared to last year, unless that many people died and haven't reached the voting age. But that seems like a drop off.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it won't, I mean, just for the record, in the end, it won't be that bad. Like, California is pretty slow to count, and there's a big number of votes that come out of California. But yeah, there was certainly a lower turnout for Democrats for sure.
I also want to go out and say, and this is kind of just me trying to even the score on some things, that for people who call the people who vote for Trump dumb, what do you call the people who Googled why if Joe Biden dropped out? I mean, wasn't that like the trending search on Google the day after the election?
Yeah, it was a Google trend for sure.
Yeah, and so I don't know. America.
You had more to say than I thought you would. I thought you were just gonna scream at me for even bringing it up, but no, Josh. Wow, look at you, Josh. You had some things to say about politics. At least 6 people are gonna hear that. Maybe that's crazy. You and I being 2 of them. But
4 of them, probably don't even live in the United States or care. I will say that if they do start to redraw the map of the United States and Canada, I will not be Canadian. So we will have our own little, I don't even know what it would be called, but our independent sort of land of the United States will encircle my house,
just like Pretoria,
similar to Peter Griffin. Yep. Because I refuse to become a Canadian. I will not cheer for Nickelback. I will not become a Drake fan. Yeah, that's just me.
Josh, you know low key that there's Ohio. You know low key there's some good Nickelback songs. You can't front like that, Josh.
There are probably some good Nickelback songs out there, but there is no reason to cheer for them.
All right, I mean, if it's Josh, are you secretly already Canadian?
I'm just practicing in case it does happen and they don't accept my little rezoning of my household.
I do think the Mounties would be a fierce force. You know, Trump spent all that time building the border on the south, but he wasn't preparing us for the invasion of the fucking Canucks, dude. And they could be...
Oh, you guys set up spikes to stop your cars? We just pour maple syrup on the road, eh?
You know, there's a couple things I know about Canada. One, moose, what obviously all the Mounties ride. Mooses are assholes. Meese are assholes. Beavers, big Canadian animal, beavers are assholes. So, I mean, they're gonna plow through the world. They're gonna chop down a bunch of trees and block the roads. These Canadians have been plotting for decades, and I think they're finally about to strike. Watch out. Wake up, sheeple. The Canadians are coming. Walters wants us to watch the movie Strange Brew.
This. Yeah, that's 0% chance of happening.
You want to get into the player exchange?
Because that's what Al's still sitting here for. He's probably just banging his head against the wall. We made him dumber.
Right. We'll talk about it real quick. I think people are pretty much over the game. I know last time we brought it up 2 weeks ago, Walters closed his portfolio. And we haven't had, other than you, I don't think we've had anyone buy or sell in a couple weeks. So I think people are over it, but I'll keep tracking it just for funsies. And then hopefully next year you can find that guy on Reddit and then we can just join him and then I don't have to do any of the work because I think people are interested in this game. And I think Al's idea of having, buying and selling based on their last performance is good. You would buy based on the average, and then you would sell based on, their most recent performance. I think that's a good idea if I had to run it next year. But yeah, So it's low participation, but we'll still keep tracking it. No buys or sells significantly in the last couple weeks.
I just sold Jamar Chase.
Ooh, I mean, if you're going to sell Jamar Chase, now's the time. His average is just 22.52. What did he put up last week? Do you have that in front of you or no?
55.
55 is crazy. So yeah, that's definitely a sell high moment. But looking at the leaderboard, Josh, you remain in first place. I will say I think that's an impressive feat. You have been leading for 6. That's 4 weeks. Brian, 6 weeks ago, Brian was in the lead, and then 4 weeks ago, Josh took the lead, and you have not given it up since. Everyone's portfolio has appreciated from the week prior, or from the last time we looked at it, except for Walters, of course, who Walters sold off his portfolio. So yeah, anyways. Josh, you are at a total of 168.42. You're sitting on 27.29 cash, and then your portfolio is worth 141.13. Of course, that number just changed because you just sold Jamar versus keeping him in-house, but, you know, your total value remains the same at 168. I remain in second at 159.15. I'm sitting on probably too much cash for my own good. I'm sitting on 57.6 points per game cash. Then my portfolio is worth just over 100 at 101.55. Al has taken third place. Al has been in fourth for the past couple check-ins. Al has now ascended into third place. He's at 144.65. He is still sitting on absolutely no cash. He's at 0.66 cash, but all his values in his portfolio, which is worth 143.99. So if Al wants to make any moves, he's going to have to make a sale before he can buy someone else. Brad, who has not made any moves, I think, since the very first week, or maybe the second week. He's sitting at 116.96, almost all in cash at 72.4, and then he has 44.6 in his portfolio. Walters, all his money is in cash. He's essentially done playing, but I guess I'm still technically tracking him. He is at 110.45, so he's in last place, sitting all in cash. So what Walters is banking at this point is a giant market crash to end the season, where all the points per game just plummet, and then Walters will end up walking ahead, or will end up walking away ahead of everyone else because of the market crash. So we'll see. Walters is on, he's looking for the Great Depression. We're currently in the roaring 20s, and Walters wants that all to come to an end. But big shout out to, oh my God, what did Walters just say? I want to convert everything to gold. There's no gold in this universe. You're sitting on paper cash, fiat currency, made up money. Enjoy. You can go watch some Ron Paul videos about it later. But in this universe, you're sitting on fiat cash. Walter
Nerd.
Al has Bitcoin. All right, so that's the portfolio, Josh. That's the thing, Josh. You are still in first place, and you ascended about 10 points from the last check-in. I only went up 7 points. Al went up 8 points roughly. Brian only went up 2 points. Brad went up about 2 points. So, Josh, you continue to kill it, and we got to give you your credit. You deserve your flowers because you continue to be in first place despite not making any moves, or not making many moves. Excuse me. Now you're not making no moves, but not making many moves. So it is. It's your game to lose at, Josh. So good luck.
Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy. All right. That's pretty much the show we had planned. We'll see if Sam Darnold gets any better. We'll see what the Donald looks like in office in January, but hopefully the political talk is going to be behind us for a while, even though we're seeing all his cabinet appointments, and some of those are interesting as well. Shout out to Mike Huckabee, ambassador to Israel. But yeah, so hopefully at least the political ads that are during all our football games will be gone, so you will only be subjected to it if you are a doom scroller like it, Josh. I don't have the outro song to play. Like I said, I don't have any of my files on this new computer yet because I just wanted one clean show where I didn't fuck up, and then I'll add in all the bells and whistles hopefully by next show. But Josh, do you want to go ahead and hit your Go Packers, and then we will get the hell out of here?
Go Packers.
Thank you. Open Walters has requested. We'll see what this fool wants to say. Go ahead, Walters. You're on the air. Walters?
Go Packers.
All right, Walters, you got 5, 4, 3.
No, that would probably do it.
There we go. What do you have to say? You're on the air.
Zombies is back for sure.
Are you gonna make zombies great again?
Zombies is great again. Yeah. Have you been playing at all?
I have not played zombies since I last played with you guys. I was on playing a little multiplayer with my cousin T today, but there was no zombies since I last played with you guys.
We got to do that Easter egg on Terminus. I have not touched it once because I was waiting for the squad to squad up.
Well, we'll see what happens. All right.
Get off your
everybody.
mobile game.